chair designers will have you believe that their chair will help reinforce your posture, will help you keep a perfectly straight spine. It doesn't matter if you're going to sit in this chair 8 hours a day, it's not going to have any negative consequences. And that's not true. You know yourself, you could sit in the most comfortable chair imaginable. Within a half an hour, you're going to be sat on one side of your hips, then you're going to switch to the other side of the hips, then you're going to lean forward, then you're going to you'll end up in all sorts of positions because human beings fidget. We all, it doesn't matter if if you have the patience of a monk, you will still fidget. And the point is, you cannot create tension in your lower part of your body when you're sat down. So basically, from your hips, from your waist down is basically switched off. So you've got these large muscle groups not really doing much. They're sat there idle. Your feet, your ankles, they just sort of pooling up with blood, not up too much. Just kind of sat there. The lower back, the hips. Obviously, your neck is in a poor position because you're craning forward. And, us human beings, we're designed to move. We're designed to be active. Our body wants to move. That's why there's so many benefits to moving. It doesn't have to be exercise specifically. Even just going for a walk, you get outside of your head. You're observing things around you. There's a reason why if you're sat in the house all day, you've got this sort of, I could only describe it as like a stale feeling. There is, you could be watching this and watching that, but at the end of the day, if you don't do enough movement, you get into a strange sort of mindset. I hate to use the term mindset, it's not my favorite term, but you get into this, I get a bit cranky, I think is the best term I'd say. You get a bit cranky, you feel like, I feel like doing something, but I don't know what it is. Maybe I could be playing a computer game and the character I'm playing, I don't actually play computer games, but just as an example, you could be playing a computer game where you're a character running around doing this and that, jumping over walls, climbing and so on. And so you get a sense of that as you're watching the computer character do that. But you're physically not getting that benefit. You're just sat there stewing. Your body is just kind of slumped down, not moving. And guess what? Time after time, this happens for people more and more in this age of the modern world of modernity. And we just tighten up. Everything is kind of squished together. Our heart, our lungs, all of our organs underneath that are just squashed. And it's easy to see why people are just glum. There's not much enjoyment to be had. Hour after hour, sat down, looking at a computer screen, looking at the TV. So, long term, the correlation between inactive people and diabetes, hypertension, is very, very high. And you can see why. Sedentary lifestyle correlated with being obese, having breathing problems, having all sorts of issues. There was a study which was basically saying if you average less than half an hour a day walking, then you're going to suffer. Your body is going to suffer, your health. The act of not moving enough is catastrophic for health. It's think about joint health. If your joints aren't moving, they are just sat idle. And like anyone who's done any exercise knows, the old use it or lose it. Well, that works for muscle that you've worked hard to build, lifting weights and so on, or your physical conditioning from doing martial arts or sprints or whatever. But think about your joints. If my ankle just sits in a position, sort of midway point of its range of motion, guess what happens after time? My joints will probably swell a little bit because they're just not moving, so not kind of helping push blood around the extremities of the body, but also my range of motion in my joints. They're going to degrade. The There's an old saying in China where when it comes to pain, if you have pain in your body, move where the pain is, because there's a great, it's almost therapeutic effect of moving. So if my ankle's tight, if I move it regularly, I'm going to get the blood flowing through that joint, moving up and down, getting all sorts of flexibility back in the joint. So imagine over a long period of time I don't move. My knees are going to get stiff, my ankles, my even the flexibility in my foot. It's just going to lay idle. It's just going to sit there doing nothing. And over time, not that my body has sort of got that sort of conscious thought, but it's like, wow, we're not moving, so we might as well take healing away from that part of the body, blood flow. Obviously, the body is constantly rebuilding. So all the effort to keep those bones and ligaments and tendons and soft tissues and so on healthy, the body is just going to think, why? What's the point? It's going to adapt, because the body is always adapting. So it's going to do something else. It's going to put some energy into doing something else. God knows what, because you're sat down, you're not doing anything. So you're probably just slowly dying a death. Not to put too a macabre view on it, but that's essentially what's happening, isn't it? Because you're not doing anything. Your body is just degrading, slowly degrading down. Now, I don't want to make people upset with this characterization of what's going on, but it's true. The data is pretty clear. If you don't move enough, you will suffer. You will suffer in all sorts of ways.